So I'm pretty sure you're watching this video because I probably sent you this link. And that's probably because you asked me some form of the question, how much have you spent on this game? You're not the first person to have ever asked me this, and so many people have asked me this that I thought that I would make an entire video based solely on that question and how I always tend to answer it whenever I get asked it, so that I could put it into one comprehensive video so that whenever anybody asks me, like yourself, I can send you this video and we can move on with our lives. And so I don't have to do this entire speech over and over and over, as I have been for the entirety of the time that I've been playing this game, which has been a while. So it is currently February 15th, 2024, and this is currently what my account looks like, as of right now. As of this exact moment in my journey, this is what my account looks like so far, and I get this question all the time. And I trust that as my account grows, from whenever you're watching this video, my account will be much better than this, and I will get this question even more, I trust, in the future. But I already get it to the point where I get asked it enough times to where I thought to make a video of it, so here we go. This is my current account. I have maxed out all my commons, rares, and epics, except for Clown. Clown is the newest unit, and so that's the only thing that I don't have maxed out. And then these are my current legendary levels. I have a max Blade Dancer, a max Spirit Master, a max Knight Statue, and a max Enchant Sword. I have technically a max Inquisitor, and this Scrapper, I am 1 month away, and obviously the 3 pages for the Book of Secrets. I am 1 month away from maxing out my Spirit Master as well. And then these are the rest of my levels. Everybody always wants to see my current levels, and so these are my current legendary levels. I have everything up to this point. So this is every legendary, and I get asked this question all the time. How much have you spent on this game? Some kind of form, some variation on this of this question. And this is how I always address it. I don't know. I know that that's not the answer that you're looking for. I feel like everybody that asks this question, they see my max units, they look at their own account, and they're like, how much did you spend on this game? This is crazy. But you have to understand that I have been playing this game, again, February 15th, 2024. I have been playing this game for at least 2 years, if not 3 years. This game is relatively kind of a new game. It's not like I've been playing for 30 years, it's relatively a new game. I've been playing for this game for at least 2 or 3 years. I don't know when exactly the date that I started, but I do remember that I started in Infinite Co-op, when Infinite Co-op was a thing, when Royal Trials was the only event that existed, when there were no dungeons, and it was just one version of co-op, and it was Infinite Co-op. I remember a time before, obviously, Robot, because that was introduced in Royal Trials as the only event unit. I remember a time before Witch. I remember when Demon Hunter did percentage damage. There's a lot of specific details of the time that I started that I remember, but I just can't place it in a specific year. And if you want to go and do the research, you can figure that number out. But I've been playing this game for 2 or 3 years. If not, I want to say more, but there's a part of me that doesn't think that that Rush Royale has existed for 4 years. But it may have. I don't know. But it's safe to say that I've been playing between 2 and 3 years, if not more, right? And this is what my account looks like. I don't know how much I've spent. I know that since I started, I have been buying the premium pass every single month, basically. There were some months where I thought to not buy it, and then I would get towards the end of the month, and then just spending that $10 extra, $12 extra, whatever it is currently, never felt like a lot. And basically that is my point. I guess I should also showcase, I do have these are my hero levels. And I do currently have a level 2 Necromancer. Even unlocking Necromancer is a big money sink. And so that should also showcase where some of my money has gone. Because the only way to get it is through Rush for Glory. And the most efficient way to do it is to pay for the pass every time Rush for Glory comes around. And that's what I did to get 4 shards and then 4 shards up to 25 shards. And then I paid another Rush for Glory to get it from 1 star, because you unlock it at 1 star, to get it from 1 star to 2 star. So you can actually calculate that. And I will give you a couple more numbers. If you feel like adding all of these things up, you can get a rough estimate of how much I've spent. But essentially, people always look at my account and they wonder, and they ask me how much have you spent in this game? And I think they're expecting a number in the thousands, $30,000 or something, some outrageous number, $100,000, $1 million, they're thinking that I just keep this number in my head. I just have a tally, or I have a little notebook. Whenever I, put money into this game, I just write a little note to myself, and I don't. Because whenever I spend money in this game, it never feels like a lot to me. The most I've ever spent in this game is $50. So I have bought all of the gem packs. In the way that this yellow is highlighted, because you get a ×2 promotion, each of these had that ×2 promotion. So I have bought all of these once. I bought the $1, the $5, the $10, the $20, and I did buy the $50, and that was very specifically because I wanted a Hero Tavern emote. So the emote that walks, or the one that is an animated thing, you get that at 41,000. And it is on the free side, so you don't have to pay for the heroic pass. So that helps. But to get to 41,000, you do have to spend gems, in the game. Anything that you gem in the game. So if you buy an epic hero chest, you'll see on the side, you get 2,240 heroic tavern coins. That is the only way to progress into Heroes Tavern. Because at a certain point, the free stuff that you get from all of your quests, it's not enough. All of these, you could literally do all of these quests, and you will not finish Heroes Tavern. You literally, the way to finish Heroes Tavern and to progress, is by spending gems, and gems equate to money. So essentially, I really wanted this avatar. I thought it was really cool that it changes, that it was an enchant sword. I bought it at the height of when enchant sword was the best thing. And so I did spend the $50 in order to both double dip into getting that avatar, as well as getting my mermaid to level 5. My mermaid is currently a level 11. I've spent a lot of gems trying to get Gadget up to level 15, because it was my favorite unit, or my favorite hero. But yeah, essentially, I have spent, I only bought all of these once. I've never bought it again. It was the $1, the $5, the $10, the $20, the $50, and then I've never bought the $100. That's crazy money. And I've never bought the $100 because that feels like a lot of money. Whenever I buy something in this game, it never feels like a lot of money. So when you buy the premium pass, which is the only thing that I would ever suggest people consistently buy every single month, because specifically for the Book of Secrets, getting 3 pages of Book of Secrets per month, which means every 2 months you can upgrade a unit from any level to any level, saving you at max 3 copies and 9 crystals. That's essentially 12 legendaries. Doing that every 2 months for an entire year, you get a huge boost in your game. that is unmatched by literally any other way that you can spend money in this game. But essentially, I have bought the premium pass every single month, and that's basically it. I did spend $40 on a shaman, and that was specifically because back when I was playing an infinite co-op, back when that was a thing, you had to have a shaman, or you had to have a max demon hunter or a high level demon hunter in order to go in infinite, essentially. That was the deck to build, and because I didn't have any demon hunters, I felt like getting a shaman to shaman other people would be the easier route to doing infinite co-op. And so for like 3 or 4 months, I was trying to pull legendaries, and I couldn't get a shaman to save my life. And so they gave me an offer to buy a shaman for $40, and I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. And then I spent $40 to buy a shaman, essentially. But every single time I've ever spent money in this game, it's never felt like a lot of money. It's never, I've never spent enough money in this game to where I get kicked out of my house. I've never spent enough money in this game to where I can't eat for that day. Whenever I spend money in this game, I have that money. I have that as extra money. They have currently created a double pass for the season pass, one that stops at 35, I believe, so that you can get this left side legendary, and it's half the price of the full pass, or you could just buy the full pass for double the price, obviously, because half of it is half the price, and then the full pass is double that price. And so I feel like that is a good change for this game. If you don't have if you don't have the $12, if you have $6, and that is your budget, you can still do this, right? And the reason why I state that every time I've ever spent money, it's never felt like a lot. It's to showcase the idea that yes, if you added like my entire spending in Rush for Glory, in Royal Trials, what is this called? It starts with an R. Rush Royale. If you were to add up and go through like years of my bank statement and check to see how much exactly I have spent I have Rush for Glory and Royal Trials because I kept saying it in my head. What is this game that we're playing? Now it's all I can think about. What a weird Rush Royale. I guess it every time I say Rush, I'm thinking Rush for Glory, and I'm like, that can't be right. And then I'm like, is it Royal? No, it's not Royal either. It has to be Rush something. It's Rush Royale. If you were to go through my statement and look up every single time I've ever spent money in Rush Royale, and you added it all together, that number would be a large number. I have no doubt that number would be a very large number over the course of time, right? But you could do that with literally anything in your life. If you told me that you spent $20 of gas to put in your car, and let's say you do that once a week on average, right? Maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's half a week, maybe, maybe it's every 2 weeks when you don't find yourself driving, or maybe sometimes you do drive a lot and it's every, it's twice a week, right? Or it's once a week, I'm sorry. Or it's half of a week, or it's twice a week, right? But averaged out, it's once a week, right? Maybe you did like a bunch of driving on 1 week, and at that halfway point on Wednesday, you had to like fill up your tank $20, and then you had to fill up your tank again at the end of the week on Sunday, right? I guess 7 doesn't really split very well, doesn't it? I was like, why was this so hard? I was like, what's the 3.5 day? This is the amazing content that you have subscribed to, by the way. Thank you for listening to this video. Let's say, right, averaged out, you spend $20 in gas per week, right? $20 of gas per week times 4 weeks in a month would equate to $80, right? There's 12 months in a year. That's $960 per year. Let's say you've had your car for, let's say, 20 years. Most people don't give away cars until it blows up, right? Until you can't fix it anymore. Let's say you've had that car for 20 years. You've spent $20 in gas every year. Over the course of 20 years, you spent $19,200 in just gas. That doesn't include how much the car costs. That doesn't include maintenance. That doesn't include oil. That doesn't include, fixing your car. Just in gas alone, just to make your car go, right? You have spent $19,200 over the course of, the time that you've had a car, right? That amount of money, if you just said it out loud, would sound like a ridiculous sum of money. Like, what if, when you bought a car and, they said, oh, it's good for, and $20 is, and $20 is not a lot, right? With gas prices going up, $20, a week is great. If you can do $20 a week, that's a great sum of money, right? I'm doing this at $20 a week, right? Assuming, what if they told you at the beginning of when you bought your car, oh, this car is going to last you for 20 years, give us $19,200 right now, and, all of your gas will be paid for. That would sound like an insane amount of money, right? Let's say they just tacked on $20,000 to your how much your car costs. And they just said, oh, pay us now, it's $19,200. You would say no. You'd be like, that's an insane sum of money. I'm not going to do it, right? Because at that time, that sounds like a large quantity of money. But if you broke that down into months, into weeks, and it was $20 a week, over the course of that week, with your high-paying job, with any kind of job, $20 a week to get to work, to get to all of the places that you want to go, it doesn't feel like a lot. When you make $100 a day, right? If you make $80 a day and you compound that times 7, right? $80 a day times 7 days a week, you made $560. What's $20, right? That's how my spending in Rush Royale feels to me. It doesn't feel like a lot. It probably is a lot if you were to add up everything. But at the time, it never feels like a lot. And in all honesty, I know that there's a lot of things that you can pay for in order to advance your game. And there's a lot of things that like Royal Trials and all of the events, right? You can buy these consistently over and over and over. You would need to spend $10 in order to get if you completed each event. I believe the event costs $10. In order to max out a legendary, you need 15 copies. 10 times 15 is $150. You can technically spend $150 maxing out every single event legendary, which will include Genie, Spirit Master, Minotaur, Tesla, and then Robot, right? Wherever Robot is. Where's Robot? Robot, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the rate of $150 times 5, you would be spending $750 if you maxed out all of the event legendaries. There's obviously a cheaper way to do it, because once you hit 3 copies, 3 copies in Royal Trials would cost $10 each, and so that would cost $30. But if you spend instead 2 months of buying the premium pass and completing the premium pass, you could it would cost you $20 to upgrade a robot from 13 to 14 as opposed to $30 to upgrade a robot from 13 to 14. And that's how you can make that cheaper. And that's why I would always encourage people to use your what's it called? Your Book of Secrets on event units, because you'd be saving money at that point. But that's a conversation for another time. There are ways to save money, and there are efficient uses of money in this game. I would never recommend anybody to get either Necromancer or Zeus. They are the best. Zeus is the best hero in this game, but unless you have a large quantity of money to sink into Zeus, Zeus doesn't get good until level 15. It's not, I don't want to say it's useless until level 15, but the reason why people use it and the reason why they have so much success with it is specifically the level 15 ability, which is why people even use Zeus. It's to get the Divine Power ability, to upgrade all the tiles. And so the amount of money requirement to get Zeus, even if you just did it the normal way, which is just to buy the $10 pack for Rush for Glory, would still take you a very long time, and it would be a large quantity of money. And that's to not do it the $100 route, which is I would never suggest that. There are ways to efficiently spend money in this game, and I think that with my account and how it looks, most of it, I'm obviously not saying all of it, but most of it is just time. Upgrading your commons, epics, and rares, that's just time. That's just obtaining gold by playing co-op all the time, and eventually, over the course of the game, getting all of the free rewards from all of this, getting like these chests, and getting commons, rares, and epics, and eventually getting enough to max out all of your commons, rares, and epics. A lot of this game is incredibly free to play, and there are any way that you can pour money into this game, the only thing that it's saving you is time. That's it. You can literally get everything, most of the things in this game you can get reasonably well if you just play the game. Once I obtained my first legendary, which I understand that you can look at all my legendaries and say, you know, like you have so much, you've spent so much in this, you've spent so much money in this game. Once you get your first legendary, it becomes very easy to start rolling over and getting new legendaries. One of the hardest things that you will face as you progress through this game is the crystal amount that you need. You need so many magic crystals. I did an entire video based on how many legendaries you need in this game to max out all of the current number of legendaries in this game, and it's something like 2,000 legendaries. Once you get your first legendary, that's level 15, every single time you get that legendary, that's now a free magic crystal. Those free magic crystals become much easier to get your 9 crystals to upgrade this to a max legendary. And then once you get this to a max legendary, all of your Inquisitors are now free crystals. And then all of your Knight statues are free crystals. And then all of your Enchant swords are free crystals. So then it becomes easier to get the 9 to upgrade your Scrapper to level 15. At which point all of your Scrappers are now extra crystals. And it starts to become much easier when you don't have to make those difficult choices whenever you get a new legendary in order to say like, oh, should I save this or should I use it for a magic crystal? What I'm saying is, as you play this game, the game starts to become much easier to play. And it's just, there's a certain threshold that you need to pass. One of those thresholds is just getting every single common, rare, and epic to max. Getting all of the, just passively playing the game, opening up chests, requesting it in your clan, just doing all of the normal things that you do. But then the legendary crunch, even though it's very daunting, once you get one max DPS unit, all you have to do is just focus on random support units. And eventually you will just, over the course of playing, max out your other DPS units. This game is really all about time. It's not about money. Because as much as it is about money, as much as you can look at my account and say, oh, wow, you have like a level 18 gadget, or, oh, wow, you have like a level 11 mermaid, right? And I spent, like I said, that $50 gem pack to get a level 5 to race to a level 5 mermaid. I have a free to play account that is about to have a level 5 mermaid almost free to play just by playing the game. And once that account gets a level 20 mermaid, it won't matter that this account spent money to get a level 5 mermaid, right? It's just saved me time and I got to get it faster. If you just play this game, you can spend a minimal amount of money in this game and you will get everything. It's not about spending a large quantity of money as much as it is about spending your money wisely and spending your money to where it doesn't cripple your life. Don't let Rush Royale ruin your life. Like, if you find yourself feeling the need to spend money because you are losing, that is a wrong way to spend money. Play your own game. I feel like when it starts to become, I want to pay to win, you've lost sight of what this game actually is, which is not pay to win. It is pay to play better players. If I gave you my account and you had all of these legendaries and you had all of this crit, you had like this 4,431% crit, right? And you sped here, right? I just gave you this account. You had 4,431% crit. You had all these commons, rares, and epics. You had all these max units, right? Guess who you're playing? You're playing people who also have all of these max units. You don't pay to win. You pay to play better players. And that's why I feel like the spending in this game isn't really that important to a point. And you should always spend wisely and in your lane. Spend in your lane. Don't let it ruin your life. If you can spend the $6 in order to buy half of the premium pass, just buy half of the premium pass. Don't buy the whole thing. If you can spend more, then spend more. Then the next thing that I would recommend is events. Go for one specific unit and just narrow yourself into that one specific unit. Like, if you want to go robot and just max out a robot. If you want to go Tesla and just max out a Tesla. If you want to go Spirit Master and just max out a Spirit Master. Don't try to max out everything. And then, like, if you want to spend more, I would always recommend getting a level 5 mermaid. Level 5 mermaid is going to change your life. And then if you have already gotten all of the basic things and you still want to find a reason to spend more money, go for Zeus. I would probably recommend Zeus. I know that I'm going Necromancer, but I have a whole reason for that. That's in a whole other video. But I would recommend going for Zeus because Zeus makes every deck better. But yeah, like, I understand that you ask the question, how much have you spent in this game? Because you look at my account and you think that I have some crazy number in my head that I'm just going to say. And you're going to be like, wow, you spent so much money on this game. But in all honesty, I don't think about it. I don't think about how much I've spent in this game because it kind of feels like filling up my gas tank. It's just something that I have to do. I like doing. I like driving. I like going to work, right? I like playing this game. And it's a reasonable amount of money whenever I do choose to spend it.